You ever get that feeling where you're just dragging a highlighter across a page, but nothing's actually sticking? Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we're going to flip the script on note-taking. We're going to turn it from a total chore into what is seriously your most powerful learning tool. Let's dive in.
Oh man, we've all had that moment, right? You get to the end of a chapter, you close the book, and it's just gone. Poof, vanished into thin air. It is so frustrating. But you know what? There's a solution, and it's probably simpler than you think.
The secret? It's all about effective note-taking. And I want you to stop thinking of it as just, scribbling things down. Instead, think of it like you're creating a personalized treasure map to the most important ideas. It's an incredible tool for your memory, and honestly, it becomes your secret weapon when revision time rolls around.
Okay, this right here, this is where the magic really happens. It's all about a strategic shift in how you approach it. You've got to stop being a transcriber, just passively copying words. Instead, you need to become a thinker, an active participant who's distilling all that information down to its absolute core.
And trust me, the difference is like night and day. On one hand, you got passive reading, which just leads to confusion and a whole lot of wasted time. But on the other hand, strategic note-taking. That brings clarity, efficiency, the whole shebang. I mean, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it?
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, before you even think about picking up a pen, your first job is to put on your detective hat. You're going on a hunt for the main ideas in the text. This is the foundation for everything else we're going to do. You are officially an information detective.
Okay, enough with the theory, right? Let's actually see this thing in action. I'm going to take a pretty dense paragraph and walk you through step by step how we can transform it into powerful, super memorable notes right here, right now.
So here's our text for today. It's a paragraph that digs into the biological reasons why women often live longer than men. And as you can see, it's packed with stats and some sciencey jargon. This is the perfect example of a text that's just designed to go in one ear and out the other. Unless you've got a strategy. Go ahead, take a second to read it over. What's jumping out at you? What are the absolute must-know takeaways here? This is that active thinking I was talking about. You're the one deciding what's important. Now, let's break this down together. Okay, boom. The first key point pretty much jumps right off the page. British women live a lot longer than men. We're talking 79 years versus 74. That's our foundation. It's the big what that the rest of the paragraph is trying to explain. So the big question is, why? Why is that happening? Well, the text points us to new research. It's all about the immune system, and more specifically, a little thing called the thymus gland that makes these disease-fighting soldiers called T cells. So that's key point number 2. It's the how that explains the what. And here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. It turns out, while the thymus gets weaker as we all get older, women hold on to more of those T cells than men do. And scientists think that's the key. That's what gives them a stronger defense against serious diseases. It just connects all the dots perfectly. And check this out. This is the final result. We took that big, dense paragraph and boiled it down to just 3 clean, super concise lines. Now that is the power of strategic note-taking. It's easy to read, it makes perfect sense, and it grabs the absolute essence of the information. This whole process of chunking ideas into smaller bits makes it so much easier for our brains to remember later on. All right, so we've seen the what's and the why. Now it's time to build your own personal toolkit. Let's talk about the practical, how-to techniques you can start using right away to make your notes just as powerful. First things first, to get that speed and clarity, you've got to ditch the full sentences. Nobody has time for that. Start experimenting. Use abbreviations, create simple headings to give your notes some structure, organize things into lists, and use symbols like a simple arrow to show how ideas connect. Here are a few super common ones to get you started. W for with, BC for because. An arrow is perfect for leads to, and the greater than symbol works great for more than. Seriously, these little shortcuts will save you a ton of time and keep your notes from looking like a total mess. But here's a really important thing to keep in mind. Being brief is great, but your notes are completely useless if you look at them a week later and can't figure out what on earth you meant. The real goal here is to find that perfect sweet spot between being fast and being clear enough for your future self to understand. Okay, one last pro tip, and this is a big one. Always write down your source. Just before you even start taking notes, take 5 seconds to jot down the title, the author, the year, and maybe the page numbers. I promise you it will save you so much headache later on.
So we've talked strategy, we've talked tools. Now we get to what is honestly the most important part of all, making this whole system completely yours. Let's talk about the art of personalization. If you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. There is no single right way to take notes. Period. The absolute best system is the one that clicks with your brain and matches your unique way of thinking. So, your goal isn't to just copy my method or anyone else's for that matter. It's to take these principles and use them as building blocks, play around with them, experiment, adapt things, and build a system that is tailor-made for you. It's all about finding what makes that information finally click in your head. Look, when you really master this skill, when you learn how to learn, you basically unlock your own potential. It's a real game changer. You now have the tools you need to take on any complex topic with total confidence. So really, the only question left is, what are you going to master next?